Hi, thanks for joining us for Coffee with Joe. This week we're continuing our series for Dancing for the Stars, and we're talking to our celebrity dancers and our professional dancers, when we can have them, about the show that's coming up on April 18th. So this week we have Anne-Marie Szabo, who is our celebrity dancer for Dancing for the Stars. Anne-Marie, tell us a little bit about yourself.
A little bit about myself. Myself has lived in Prescott for almost 21 years, which is amazing for me to say.
Where are you from originally?
I came from Michigan.
Michigan, okay.
Just outside of Ann Arbor, a very small town, much smaller than Prescott. So this was big city for me, but I love it and raised my son here. My son Alex is not allowed to call him a chef, even though he's trained, but he is in Maine now, in Portland, Maine, and
lobster
the
country,
love of
right?
my love. Yes, yes. He showed me a picture when he first moved there of this gigantic lobster sandwich, and he's trying to lure me to come visit, which won't be hard. So,
have you been to Maine before?
I have not. No, I have not. I have been to a lot of states because, fun fact, I used to be married to a truck driver. And we traveled around the country in a semi.
To travel, yeah.
It's an interesting way to do it, especially in 1980 when trucks and truck stops were not pleasant like they've made them.
So here we're sitting right now in the Sparklight. Do we call this the corporate center? What would this?
No, so I currently work for Sparklight Business. I am the local business representative. I take care of businesses' internet and phone and TV when they want it. And this office is the sales office. So we have our office that holds all of the equipment and technician type people over on Tower, and then we're here, and I office with our advertising folks.
Sure. And I could say, too, that my other half just opened a business, and you helped us get our phone lines together and start our little practice, so thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
So, from what I understand, you've been a Dancing for the Stars volunteer since the start.
Yes.
You've seen it grow. You've seen it go from, the little red carpet across Gurley to what it is now, which is this massive production. How did it change over time? I mean, from your perspective, do you think it got more complex in a good way?
Well, the biggest thing is it was so popular that we had to add the matinee show.
Right.
So that was huge. The production part of it, I will say, I think even the first year was pretty incredible. I mean, what they did, having that be the inaugural year, was incredible, and I think that is why it was so popular, especially the subsequent years. But I think it's just turned into the place people want to be on that night. You don't want to miss that. It's a chance to dress up. It's it's a party before, it's a party during, it's a party after. And when I say during, I do mean that. These people are having a raucous time watching the show, and intermission. So changing, I don't know, other than just growing in popularity and people appreciating that it's what it's done for our community's Boys and Girls Clubs. I think people really, every year it highlights what the Boys and Girls Clubs are doing and how the money is affecting them.
And they've done quite a bit with the money. I mean, they've reworked some of their rooms for the kids. I mean, great things with the money that they raised. And I think that's a good point to now bring in. You've raised so far with Kevin Smith as your professional dancer.
Yes.
And we're airing this. This is pre-recorded by a day. This is Wednesday. It'll air tomorrow. $26,330 for the Boys and Girls Club. That's incredible money.
It is incredible money, and we're not done yet. So yeah, it is. It feels good. That part of it feels really, really good. Yeah. When I was first asked, it was like, all you can think of is, dancing on a stage. That's scary. But, when you realize how good that feels to be able to help usher that money where it needs to go.
And I mean, for a nonprofit, that is incredible money that can do incredible things for that group. So it really is a great thing to see. Yes. So, what made you decide to start dancing for it? Are you a dancer right before you decided to dance?
I have been dancing and taking dance lessons for many years. I forget what year I started. I want to say 2014, maybe.
And what style of dance do you normally?
All kinds of ballroom, Latin, East Coast, West Coast,
Oh,
all kinds of stuff.
Fun.
I like to say it's the most fun you can have with your clothes on. I know this is for kids, but I love social dancing in any of those styles except for tango. I'm not crazy about tango. Not great at it, but it's just so much fun. And prior to that, I was the person who sat there with my arms closed going, I'm not dancing. But once I learned the steps to dance, I can do that, and I can follow, and I can have a blast. And so I love it. However, social dancing, a completely different animal than what we're doing. Completely different animal.
Now, what type of dance does Kevin normally do? Is he also a ballroom style dancer? Is that...
He does all kinds, but he, I think, specializes towards the Latin.
Okay. Is that, and you don't have to tell us, but is it kind of a Latin dance that you're doing for the show?
I'm sworn to secrecy.
Sworn to secrecy.
Because we want it to be, fresh.
And everybody does, too.
Yeah.
So that actually brings me to a question I ask every single person that we have on. Do you have a competitive... It's all for the kids. Everything that's done now is for the kids. It's to help the organization. Yeah. It's just all for them.
Yep.
But I know that Zach is very competitive, as much as it is for the kids. He is always competitive. So do you feel a competitive itch to it? Like or is it just a want to do good, want to be perfect?
Honestly, I'm not a very competitive. I'm not a competitive person. I'm in sales. I should be competitive. I should want to, beat the other guys on the team. And we do have contests, in my business quite a bit. I find that just doing my best at whatever I'm doing lands me in a good spot.
Yep.
Good things happen to me, and I just want to do what I know is right.
That's
and
good.
However it lands. And I want to celebrate all the other accomplishments of the other dancers too. That's just, I was never in team sports or anything like that, so not really.
Sure. So, I wanted to just ask you also, I just looked online to see a little bit about you and learn what you do. And I feel like this could be like, have you seen Game of Thrones? Have you watched Game of Thrones at all?
I only watched, I think, 2 episodes.
2 episodes.
Yeah.
Well, the one character, her name is Khaleesi. She has this incredible resume of all of her titles. And I'm running through some of these that you have. You've been with other organizations, a Big Sister for 8 years, and with the Big Brothers and Big Sisters Gala, you've been the co-chair for their gala, marketing committee chairperson for the Arizona Community Foundation of Yavapai County, Prescott Women Who Care, Northland Cares, Prescott Area Leadership, Prescott Citizens Academy. Where do you find the time to also dance on top of it?
Well, many of those things are, like with the Community Foundation that doesn't come up till August. I mean, we've started talking, so we meet, periodically. And, all of these things aren't consistent on all the time.
Sure.
Right now, I have let go of some things. My little, who I was with for, she's going to make me cry, she grew up. And so she also moved. So we keep in touch, actually. I just sent her a package yesterday. But so all of these things aren't something that has to happen every day. But I did let go of some things in order to focus more on this.
Sure.
Yeah. But
I mean, that's...
there's lots of time.
Well, on top of working, I mean, it's got to be tough to find that place that you could just get into your element and start dancing. And I think a lot of people could really respect what you do just for the time commitment it takes.
Thank you.
One of the other things I was reading about this morning, let's talk about Maitre D. Because I found out that you love cooking, you love baking. What is Maitre D? Tell us about Maitre D.
Maitre D was a magazine that, it was a really funny story. It was at a mixer, a chamber mixer, and a gentleman overheard my friend and I talking about the food. And he said, come here, I want to talk to you guys. We're like, okay. And in 3 months, I think it was, from that day, we published a magazine, which my friend and I were like, okay, sure, sounds good. And it turned out that in the end, it was something that was I was the one left standing with it after some time. And I published it for almost about 4 years. It was about the food and the restaurants in northern Arizona, although we didn't go as far as Flagstaff. So we featured restaurants every issue. We talked about all kinds of food. I had lovely writers from all over town that would write about all kinds of different aspects of food, farmers, and it was a dining guide. So the impetus was we need a dining guide. So in the middle of the magazine was a list of all the restaurants, which was really hard to keep up with.
Oh, I'm sure.
But then the fun part for me was featuring restaurants, talking to chefs, and really laying out the look of the magazine, which evolved quite a bit. So yeah, I miss it a lot. It was a lot of fun. I met a lot of wonderful people throughout that, but in the end, I needed to pay my bills.
Sure.
So yeah,
sure.
So I moved on.
Well, since you've been doing it for so long, is there a go-to restaurant or a go-to maybe dish, if you didn't want to name a restaurant, that you just would love, if it was your one thing you could pick here in the Quad Cities? Do you know what you'd...
We are fortunate. We have gained some really great places. It's hard to pick just one. I have my faves.
If I was asked that question, I'd have a really tough time answering.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know that I could pick just one. I would say that my son was here for a short time, and I also was in the beginning stages starting the restaurant, The Local. I called my friend one day and said, "Hey, I think we should do this," and she ran with it like nothing I could have imagined. But I wanted a place where I could go to breakfast and have the things that I love, made fresh, made real, made from real ingredients, never, microwaved or, just never from a box or anything like that. And I also have to have a great cup of coffee with my breakfast.
You are a woman after my own heart.
If you're having pancakes without the good coffee or a lovely cup of tea, but for the most part, if I want breakfast, I want a lovely cup of coffee with it. And that's a place where that's kind of a go-to for breakfast.
Oh yeah, I've been to breakfast a ton of time over there. It's a really, really great place.
Yeah, well, it's part of a piece of me there, because I was there through the beginning stages and developing the menu and that kind of thing. And I'm so proud of what Cheryl Strong did there because it's and now it's in the hands of someone else who's doing a great job in growing it. But that's one of my faves, and that's really what I like. I like food that's made from real ingredients by someone who's passionate about it, which is like my son. That's what I was saying. My son was here for a short time, and having him cook for me is a dream.
Sure, it was.
And with me, we cook together a little bit.
You also hike. Do you have a favorite trail that you usually like to go to? Do you have a go-to?
I guess I'd say Thumb Butte.
Thumb Butte? Sure.
Yeah. If I could do Thumb Butte every day, I'd be super happy.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's a good trail.
It is. It changes you. I mean, you will. If you do that every day, you will see the change.
I was I did the Grand Canyon rim to rim a couple of years ago, and to train for it, I did Thumb Butte, and I would just go up and down at 11 times or whatever would equal near what it would be to do the Grand Canyon rim to rim, and it was so helpful.
11 times. Oh my gosh.
I mean, I think that's somewhere close to what the rim to rim is, but it was, great training for and a beautiful trail on top of it. I mean, you couldn't go wrong with it.
Yep.
Great trail. Great trail. So if somebody wants to vote for you for Dancing for the Stars, what's the process? How
when
do they vote for you?
When you say somebody and you say if.
Everybody.
No, of course. When they all want to rush to my website, it's dancingforthestars.net/ANNE, which is not my name. My name's Anne Marie, but it's close enough, and that's how you find us. That's how you find Kevin and I.
Great. So they'll go there, they'll vote, and the voting works with, is it a donation to the organization that is the vote, right?
Right.
Yep.
You can vote, which would be a donation. You can buy tickets, which there are some left. You can buy tickets to the matinee or to the evening performance. I think there are still tickets to the evening performance, and I believe the evening performance has different levels, like if you want to attend the pre-party and the after-party.
There's a red carpet event that's part of it, and you could... I love the red carpet event.
Me too. For the past 3 years, all I've done is run. Boo, 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 boo. So this year will be very weird to not be escorting people, back and forth.
It'll be probably a relief, but also a little more stressful being a dancer. But
yeah, I'm really looking forward to the after party.
Yeah, I don't know if I've ever been to the after party, but maybe you'll have to tell me more about it after the camera goes off.
Okay. Okay.
Well, good. We'll make sure that we put up the link to be able to vote for you as well. So,
cool.
So we'll get it. The final thing that we wanted to talk about here, Donna Working gave us 2 tickets to raffle off, not raffle, but it's to the Cirque du Soleil Axel show, and it's March 20th at 7:30 p.m., which is a Friday. And in order to get these tickets, please like, comment, and share this video, and we will randomly select somebody for these 2 seats. So please make sure you do that if you'd like 2 tickets to Cirque du Soleil Axel. So, Anne-Marie, Szabo, thank you so much for being here and having your coffee with us. Everybody, thank you for having your coffee with us as well. Enjoy the rest of your week, and we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.